Здравейте, намираме се в поредния епизод на Q-сервис. Днес съм на гости. Изключително много се вълнувам, както всеки път. Защо? Като видим цветовете жълтичко-червеничко, ни става ясна работа. В България знаем, големи ли са спирачките, значи ни е силна колата. А силна ли ни е колата, трябва да има големи спирачки, иначе не има спиране. Днес ще си говориме. Здравей, момчиле, за какво?
Здрасти, Филип. Добре дошъл. Днес отново ще говорим за дискове и накладки, но ще засегнем тези, които са за апгрейд и тези, които са за моторните спортове.
Кой ни е на гости?
На гости ни е... На гости ни е дама, която е представител на Brembo, Сити Абдула се казва, като тя е гурото на Brembo. Сити, please say a few words about yourself and the technical role that you occupy.
Cool. So thanks again for having me here. It's a real honor for me and a real pleasure for me to speak to your audience. So my name is Siti Abdullah and I am the Brembo Expert Technical Training Coordinator for the Aftermarket Global Business Unit. So what that means is I create and deliver training both for internally and externally to our customers and your customers to really bridge the gap between us as braking innovators to the aftermarket industry. So I've been in the industry since 2003 in various roles, but all the way from using the product to selling the product and providing technical field support.
Okay, thank you. So can we say that the products from your extra line are the ones designed for some kind of an upgrade, while the ones coming from the line called upgrade are the ones which are designed for motorsport and track days?
So let me clarify that. So the Prime line, as we explained in the previous video, is for the best fit for everyday kind of vehicles.
Okay.
But the extra line, this is our coolest line in terms of how it looks, but also for performance. It's for, as we were explaining, for your more enthusiastic kind of driver to get maximum performance out of their brakes whilst being kept legal on the roads.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but the upgrade line, yeah, that's more dedicated to use on tracks, where perhaps you might get higher temperatures that you might not get on normal roads to be able to achieve that coefficient of friction for that grip.
Please explain why is it important so much to have grooves and drills?
So they've got loads of benefits besides looking cool, of course. The exact design of the drills and holes, the most important bit is they provide an extra edge for your pads to actually grip as they pass by. So by having that extra edge to grip, it provides like increasing coefficients, but also more immediate kind of pedal feel. But they also act in other ways. With the drills and the grooves, you've got like a channel for any gases or water to actually escape. So really great for driving in wet kind of conditions, but also as we were mentioning yesterday, in the brake pads, one of the materials is resins, and resins is used to bind the materials together.
Yeah.
However, when we have higher temperatures, those resins emit gases. So when the brake pad is trying to clamp on that brake disc, there will be a need for the gases to actually escape first.
Yeah.
So with these channels, it provides like a really good channel for them to actually escape. So you get more immediate sort of contact as well. They also have they provide like more of a surface area.
Okay.
So there's more dissipation of heat. So not only can the heat escape through these channels, but because of the way that it is designed, it dissipates heat better. So it'll keep the running temperatures to what it requires to be rather than exceeding it. Because if you have hotter brakes, of course, you'll have hotter brake pads. So not only will this increase resistance to fading of the brake pads, but also provide increased resistance to the brake discs in terms of thermoelastic deformation, but also cracking.
Okay, and can we say that this disc right here is better than this one?
It depends what you are looking for. For road kind of driving, in terms of performance, it's very, very minimal. Yeah, but I would say like in terms of which one is better, it's which one do you prefer? Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I prefer the way that the Max disc looks myself because it looks cooler, but it is literally down to preference.
Okay, and what about that one? It looks cool.
Even cooler.
This is a brake disc coming from your upgrade line.
Yes.
And this is designed for motorsports only.
It's not only designed for motorsports, because we have some that have used these brake discs as well for aesthetics on the roads as part of our GT brake kit. With brake discs, it's not so much the legality side of things. It's more so your brake pads that you have to worry about, because your brake pads would need a certain temperature to be able to get that kind of grippiness. So with our upgrade line, you've got like this brake disc that can be absolutely used on the roads, but in the kits with reference to like racing, then it'll depend what pad that you will use to make the differentiation between.
So what kind of pads should we use on the street, and what kind of pads should we use on the track when we have such kind of disc?
So when you have this kind of discs, like in our GT brake kits, you will already have like pads that are legal for road use. They will be homologated under the ECE R90.
Okay.
And it's important for that, because that's a legal requirement for all brake manufacturers. Yeah. But for the pads that are used on the track, these do not have the ECE R90. But, and the reason for that is that for them, as I've said, to get that grippiness, they need that higher kind of temperatures. They will perform much more better suited on the track, but because you don't get that kind of temperatures on the road, it can be quite
kind of dangerous.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, and talking about those parts that are designed for motorsports and being on the track, do they come burnished from the factory, or bedding, as some people love to call it this way?
Yeah, we also have like some instructions as to how to bed them in correctly.
So the customers, they need to burnish the parts themselves. Okay, so and what's the right procedure according to Brembo?
So with reference, it depends very differently compared to like when you, for use, shall we say, yeah? But when you are bedding in or burnishing your brakes, you need heat, yeah? So the recommendation is to also think about the even material transfer process. Because as part of bedding in, you will want an even layer of the pad material to transfer onto your brake disc. So the driving style should be driving normally, not feathering your brake pedal. So braking gradually, but not leaving between more than 15 to 30 seconds between each brake pedal depression, so that you can get that heat. And like by braking gradually, then you can of course have like an even material layer transfer across that brake disc.
Okay, and do you offer such a service for all the customers that want it from you, if they want to have to buy the parts directly from you, already burnished? Do you offer such a service for them?
I'm not sure whether we do as yet, but with Brembo, we always look at like the trends of what like customers want. So this might be something that might change in the future.
Okay.
But it's kind of similar to like the LUX caliper range. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what's the head here? What's the material used for the head?
Aluminium. Aluminium. So these are like the floating brake discs, similar in our prime range. You've got like obviously a high carbon cast iron on the braking surface, aluminium hat to reduce the weight of the brake disc for better stability for unsprung mass. But also you can see like the way that it's being connected to the braking surface. So using a two-piece disc kind of technology allows for separate expansion of the two components so that it will reduce the effects of thermoelastic deformation as well.
Okay. What I noticed here is that the disc is really light, especially when you compare it to other discs with the same diameter. It is really light. So I guess that the materials used here are a bit special.
Yes, I mean you can see like of course like the hat is a lot bigger than the hat that you will find on like a standard kind of prime discs.
Okay.
So being able to have that weight saving by using much more lighter and sophisticated materials for the hat will provide that kind of like weight reduction as well. So there's obviously different kind of technologies and innovation that we would put into something that will be much more higher performance. But of course you will see that in the price tag.
Yeah. Okay. And what's the venting system here?
So these are like vane vents.
Yeah.
So you can see they're like curved. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for this particular brake disc, this acts almost like as a turbine to really churn the air to dissipate it. So it will be handed. So you will have one side that would be with vane vents like in this sort of direction, and the other side for the other kind of direction.
Okay. So it does matter the way that the disc is oriented.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So we have left brake disc and right brake disc.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very important.
Yes. So when you're fitting these brake discs, you need to just be aware. If you're fitting it this way, yeah, when it's rotating, as it rotates, it's clawing the air in. So it actually needs to be fitted this way when it's rotating, so it's throwing the air.
So
out.
that should be front left wheel.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the calipers now, because how did you manage to make these calipers so popular across all the car enthusiasts?
Absolutely. Well, number one, they look amazing, right?
For sure,
Yes.
for sure.
You know that when you see a colored caliper, this is so synonymous.
Okay.
Кой харесва червено и кой жълто?
Yeah, when you see like a colored caliper, it's almost synonymous that it's got like a Brembo brake system.
Yeah, but it's not like that. The red ones are designed for boys and the yellow ones are designed for girls.
No. But as I was saying before, because we keep to trends,
Okay.
yeah. So we also listen to what the customer wants.
Okay.
So like, but what's really special about this is, so let's say if on the vehicle from the factory, the caliper is blue.
Okay.
So we would offer a different option to what is being provided at the factory. So it really provides an opportunity for that enthusiastic driver to customize the vehicle compared to what it was from original.
And how many color options do you have?
Oh my goodness. So as standard, shall I say? So on the Mercedes, we have got red, black, gold, yellow, but also so many other colors that will be on request. Yeah. And the BMW, we have yellow and black and grey, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
But again, we will have other opportunities to be able to customize. If you want it pink, you can have it pink for your car.
Yeah.
So yes, but it does look cool.
В България е важно цвета на колана да отговаря на цвета на спирачките, а пък не може да имаш Brembo и то особено да е тунинговано и просто си поръчаш черно или сиво. Значи или ще е жълто, или ще е червено, за да може да го видят.
Well, I'm sure we'll be able to provide that option.
Защото отговаря на спирането и на сигурността.
Точно така. What about the brake pistons? I mean, what's the material used for them? Are they aluminum? Are they titanium? Are they stainless steel?
Understand. So this is purely an aesthetic upgrade. So the materials that we would use for this brake caliper would be exactly the same as it was from factory.
Okay.
So it's not an upgrade in terms of performance, but it's an upgrade in terms of aesthetics.
Okay.
So, but what you will get in the kit is that you will get 2 calipers for the whole axle, and also all the springs and the accessories that will come with it too. Just to make sure that when it is replaced, that the complete repair is actually done to ensure like maximum brake efficiency as well as comfort.
Okay, and these calipers are coming from the extra line?
Yes, they are the Alu Extra calipers.
Okay, and do you offer calipers from the upgrade line?
Yes, we certainly do. So they're part of the, in fact, they're part of the GT brake kit. So where you can get the kit that includes the brake pad, the brake caliper, and also the brake discs.
And I guess that the calipers coming from the upgrade line are a bit special in terms of use. And what's the material for the pistons there? Because as we all know that the brake pistons are the ones fully responsible for the temperature of the brake fluid. So what's the material there, if you are aware?
Sure. So what we've got is like what we'll have on the GT brake kit is not only an opportunity to be able to upgrade it aesthetically, but also performance. In terms of like some of it will be an upgrade from like a floating caliper to like a fixed caliper. So what's the performance upgrade there already? So from a floating caliper, you might have just 1 or 2 pistons.
Yeah.
And then when you upgrade it to like a floating or sliding caliper, then you can double the amount of pistons. So the extra amount of like braking force.
Okay.
But they would also lighten the caliper by using aluminium. The pistons as well. I'm not too sure, is the honest truth, about the kind of material that they would use on it. But in the whole construction of the caliper, yes, they would make sure that it's lightened as well. So instead of using cast iron, they would use obviously aluminium. But with the extra amount of pistons that are used as well when you go for an upgrade from a floating to a fixed caliper, you have obviously the extra kind of brake force instead of just from one side.
Sure. Okay. And as we were talking about just before the start of the episode, the importance of this spring, please tell our viewers why this spring is so important.
Oh, sure. So I'm glad you brought that up. So basically, this spring is there to position the pads to hold it in place so that when it moves, it will move in harmony with the rest of the components. But this is made out of metal, so, and this is in the action area of the pads, as in where most of the friction will take place, so where most of the heat will come. So it gets subjected to a lot of temperature fluctuations. But not only that, so for all the mechanics out there, you realize how annoying this spring is. Because not only it can be an eye attacker or a knuckle gouger, right? You've got to stretch it to put it on, you've got to stretch it to put it back So, but that's the purpose. It holds the pad, so when the pad moves, it will move in harmony. If this is worn or if it's loose, what will cause the pad to do is when it's moving, instead of moving in harmony, it will oscillate. So when that oscillates, that produces like high frequency vibrations because it will basically collide not only with the pistons, but also the sliding pins, but also even the sides, because there's very little gap that you've got here. So when you have that high frequency vibrations, then that will transmit itself into that high pitched squeal that you can hear. And there's a lot of myths that people are mistaken that when it squeals, that it comes from the friction material. In like racing, where performance is key, yes, that's absolutely correct, because they sacrifice on the amount of comfort. But when it's normal kind of driving, where yes, you need performance, but also comfort is also, then that is more likely where it is coming from. So do replace those springs and the accessories when you're replacing this type of caliper. But another thing that might also prevent the pad from moving in harmony with the other components is you've got like contact areas that have got very little gaps. If these are contaminated, the pad will not move smoothly.
Yeah.
And again, you get that oscillation. So cleaning is actually really key in part of brake replacement.
Yeah. Това, което се сещам в момента да попитам е за вида защита на спирачните апарати, тъй като знам, че има различни.
Of course, yes.
What is it?
So anodized, like of course that's like what you get as standard, yeah, on most kind of vehicles, yeah. They are for essential kind of use, you know, and when it comes to...
And they look like unpainted.
Yes,
okay.
yes. So when it comes painted, of course you have the extra protection against corrosion as well, and it looks better, yeah. But we also have to bear in mind that, of course, like drivers, they have such wide-ranging needs. You know, some might only want to use their vehicle to get you from A to B. So it needs to just give you that performance and safety. But some would prefer, of course, for their vehicles to look good too while giving you that performance. So having like having a choice of it being anodized or also painted is to cover the needs of the drivers from the different kind of from their kind of wishes of what they want to use their vehicles for.
So paint is the better rust protection, plus it looks cooler.
Exactly.
Okay. Now let's talk about the brake fluids that you produce. How many different brake fluids do you have?
Wow, so we have got quite a few. So we have .3, .4, .4 low viscosity, .5.1, that is class 5.1. Then we've got the extra brake fluid, which is class 7.
Okay.
But we also have the LHM as well. So it covers a huge range.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but you do not produce .5.
We don't think, no, I don't, we do not in our range. We don't have like .5 silicon in our range, but I'll need to check that in a second.
Yeah, because .5 is the one that is completely different because it is silicon based and should not be mixed with none of the other.
Само с две изречения обяснете какво е това DOT, какво прави, защото не е това, той е DOT от гумите. Какво прави точно с две изречения и всъщност как да избереме? Може ли да мешаме кое с кое и как да го избираме?
So that is like an industry safety standard, really. DOT actually means Department of Transport for the US. Yeah, but they have introduced like some safety regulations as to what the brake fluid needs to perform towards. Yeah. So they would provide recommendations with reference to like wet boiling points, dry boiling points, viscosity, just as to like as some of the recommendations, but also like the kind of base that the brake fluids are made out of. So like what I mentioned before, like you were mentioning .5 is like silicon base, and LHM is mineral oil base. So we cannot mix any of these together.
Yeah.
So with reference to the different kind of like numbers, you will have like different kinds of boiling points between .3 to .4 to .5.1. On the extra .5.1, you can see that we have like a dry boiling point of 265 and a wet boiling point of 180, with also the viscosity max viscosity at minus 40 degrees at 700 centistokes.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you compare it to your .4 LV, still low viscosity, this has got like a lower dry boiling point of 260.
Yeah.
And also a lower wet boiling point of 170 as well.
So, is there danger for the regular driver to damage part of his brake system if he buys .4 instead of .4 LV?
So we have to think about like how brake fluid reacts when it gets colder, because most fluid, obviously, when it gets colder, it gets thicker. It's not so much as damage, but it's safety.
Okay.
Lower viscosities means that the brake fluid will be able to pass through the channels a lot quicker, to be able to get through all the ABS systems and the valves, so you have much more immediate reaction. So if the manufacturer is recommending, you know, just normal .4 for their brake systems, then absolutely, this is what the vehicle manufacturer has recommended. But if the manufacturer has recommended .4 like low viscosity, then yes, this is what is meant for the vehicle. However, if you want for a bit of an enhanced performance for your vehicle, if you're for brake fluid, it's always recommended you can go up, but never lower. So a good example is if you've got a vehicle that has .4, you can always go up a grade to .5.1, but never down to .3.
Yeah.
.3, sorry.
And by going up, you have a better dry boiling point.
Better dry boiling point, better wet boiling points as well, that low viscosity, so like in especially like colder kind of climates, it'll be much more responsive in the cold as well. But yes, we've obviously got to think about like the needs again for the driver, because obviously going up there will be like a cost included in it. So what we recommend is obviously listen to whatever your needs are, but essentially listen to what the vehicle manufacturer recommends for their vehicle.
Okay.
Колко често се препоръчва да сменя спирачната течност? На километри ли е, на време ли е, на двете ли е?
So there's obviously a real technical way of being able to measure the amount of moisture that your brake fluid has actually absorbed. We recommend there is some equipment that you can get that will actually boil the brake fluid.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that is the most accurate way of testing brake fluid. You will have like some pen testers or even some like strips.
Yeah.
So these test for the capacitance or the conductivity of the brake fluid. And why that's inaccurate is because not only can it be different from brand to brand, but batch to batch. So the most accurate way of testing the boiling point of the brake fluid is for the equipment that you can extract a bit of brake fluid to actually stick a probe in the fluid to actually boil it. However, we understand that this is something that some workshops might not want to invest in. So yes, the recommendations is 2 years or 60,000 miles, I think. Again, convert that into kilometers.
More or less 90,000 kilometers,
yes,
more or less.
But also, like some manufacturers, it depends on what the vehicle manufacturer says. But I think at the minimum is like 2 years.
Yeah, okay.
И зависи, разбира се, дали ако караме само на писта, разбира се, че трябва да го смениме доста по-често, отколкото ако караме нормално, регулярно до магазина и обратно.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because you will get like much more higher temperatures. And you want to know that you will have that performance every time that you get on the track. So it's recommendation, yeah.
Okay, and talking about all that moisture in the brake fluid, where is it coming from?
So that's a great question, because it's a seal system, right? However, we have to think about your brake hoses. It's made out of rubber. Brake fluid, especially in like your .3, .4. I forget what the base is. It will come to me in a bit.
Okay.
.3, .4, .5.1. The base is hygroscopic, so it loves moisture. So how it enters the systems, your rubber hoses, they are permeable. So they've got tiny little microscopic holes that you can't see. So they really pull in the moisture from the environment.
Yeah.
So after 2 years, this is how moisture actually enters the brake systems. Through all your rubber components, like you've also got your piston seals, EPDM rubber. So they're not fully watertight, as in they are when you can see it, but when it comes to like water, as in moisture in the air, that's how hygroscopic it is. It really pulls in the moisture.
Yep. Така, да сумаризирам нещата до тук, да направя едно обобщение, тъй като много неща изговорихме.
Много информация, много яко. Аз за първ път в тия 2 епизода си мълча за 10 години толкова, защото ми е много интересно.
Първото, което е, това го засегнахме и в миналия епизод, при смяна на дискове задължително чисти се главината, за да няма ръжда, няма окиси, не се слага нищо между главина и диск. Няма медна паста, няма нищо. Другото, което е при такъв тип спирачни апарати, задължително, освен накладките и пружините да се подменят, за да я няма умората на материала, тъй като има ли я, ще дрънкат, ще
тропат, звънат и всъщност може
ще издават гаден, неприятен звук.
Но може да се окаже, че няма и да сработят добре, защото може под дъгъл да се започне да се натискат.
Точно така, да. Леглата трябва да се чистят тук на накладките. Отделно, говорейки за спирачна течност, това, което задължително трябва да се прави от всички, независимо дали използват автомобилите си като ежедневно средство за придвижване или обичат да ходят на писта, е да се подменя първото, което е според самият план за поддръжка на автомобила. Най-често на всеки 2 години се сменя, но най-добрият вариант е за тестване на спирачната течност с апаратура, която правилната апаратура е тази, която кипва течността, тъй като тогава се измерва реално точката на кипене на течността.
Когато работи, а не когато си е починала.
Да. И има на пазара, има различни средства за измерване, има такива като писалка с диоди, зелен, червен, жълт, но те реално измерват електропроводимостта на спирачната течност и на базата на нея правят калкулации какво е количеството влага вътре в течността. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Да ни даде съвети някакви.
Any recommendations from you, any pieces of advice?
For the regular driver is, look, Brembo, use what was supplied on your vehicle as original. We are the original equipment manufacturer by using our Prime line, and we truly believe that every vehicle deserves Brembo. We would really enhance the performance of just your standard performance of your vehicle. We really value safety.
Okay.
Because that's our most valuable asset. So when we produce products standard on your vehicle, you can be guaranteed that you will get the safety, provided obviously the rest of the parts are working in accordance and it's been fitted correctly.
Okay.
For your enthusiasts, yes, of course, then we would recommend our Brembo Extra range. Not only can you benefit from the enhanced performance of your driving on wet roads or even down like curvy roads, which are very, very fun for driving.
Yeah.
But Brembo Extra also gives you a real opportunity to look cool. You will have your cutted calipers, your grooved and your drilled holes. So yes, these are for your enthusiasts that not only care about how your car performs, but how cool it looks too. As to our performance, so what can I say? It goes without saying, Brembo, we celebrated our 50th anniversary with our relationship with Ferrari this year.
Okay.
So since then, we have had more than 600 plus successes in various races from Formula 1 to Formula E, but not forgetting our two-wheelers, which is your MotoGP and your superbikes.
Yeah.
So we know what we're doing when it comes to performance products. So put your confidence in Brembo, who has had more than 600 successes in all of these various races, trusted by famous drivers like Michael Schumacher, riders like Valentino Rossi, for us to be able to provide the performance on the track for you.
Mm-hmm. And did you start producing parts for the motorsports from the very start, since day one?
No. So this, our relationship started with Enzo Ferrari in 1975. Mm-hmm. We started producing brake discs for vehicle manufacturers. I think it was 10 years before that. In fact, we've just actually released on our Brembo website a cool little comic as to the story of how Brembo actually started. So yeah, have a look at that because you'll be surprised at our humble beginnings.
Okay, and one question that I assume it's interesting for all the viewers. So I know for sure that you produce carbon ceramic brake discs, and you produce those discs for the OE production. But do you have carbon ceramic discs for the aftermarket?
This is coming soon.
Soon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is coming soon. Carbon ceramic discs are, of course, like the best kind of performing vehicle, kind of brake disc, I'm sorry. But it also takes a lot as part of the production process. It's absolutely fascinating. We realize the demand of it in the aftermarket. And again, we listen to the market, so you will probably see it very soon in the aftermarket.
Okay, great. Мисля, че доста неща казахме.
Ние може да си говорим с часове. Аз съм много впечатлен. Изключително съм респектиран от това, че дама е нашия учител и този път и на тебе и на мене.
Абсолютно, да.
Изключително ми беше приятно. Много благодаря. Thank you very much. Благодаря.
И аз. Thank you.
Обаждайте се в Q-сервис, за да може по веригата, от върха на веригата да може да стигне до вас информацията, разбира се, и така, че да може да бъдете супер сейф, защото по-важно от спирачките, тя ще се засили, ама някой трябва да я спре после преди да завие, защото печелиме не толкова ускорението, колкото възпирането на пистата. Не знам колко ще бързаме за хляба, ама там на опашката ще видя какво се случва. Чао и до нови срещи!